Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless program. This will be for Wednesday, March 6th. As always, I am one of your hosts, Big Irish J. Hollingsworth. And this week, there is no cocaine Holloway, because I am in Worcester, Massachusetts, with Jack Galvin.
Hello.
And Brian Glowacki.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure I say it properly.
You nailed it.
Yes. So we just, Jack and I got here. I got here, when was it? When did you get here? That'll help me figure out when I got here.
I got here Friday morning at like 5:30 in the morning.
Okay, I got Thursday night, like at 11:59 p.m. And then Jack got in the morning, and then we took an Uber to Worcester, and we had our first show last night at the Woo Ha Ha.
How fun was that?
Dude, I'm glad the first show tonight is sold out, but I don't know if it'll top. Last night was.
It's gonna be hard to top that.
It was kind of magic last night, wasn't it? I mean, I've been here for almost every show, and that was the hottest they've been. That was the most fun they've had, and it was like the most interactive they've been afterwards. Usually they're like, okay, night's over, I'm gone.
Is it because of the merch, or you said other people have tried merch too, right?
Yeah, merch is not like a New England thing, really.
Dude, it was good last night.
Last night.
You get it, you're successful.
Not me, the merch. The merch is successful. If I could be as successful as my shirts, I'd fucking be. Now, so you haven't been on here before, have you?
On your podcast? No.
Okay. Because I want to tell kind of both backgrounds. I'll go with Jack first, and then I'll go with Brian. Well, I'll go with Jack.
Okay. All right.
It'll be quick. So Jack, I met at.
It'll be quick.
Yeah.
That's not a lot to say.
Well, Jack, we met at Big Pine, right?
No. I think
we met before that.
Yeah, before that.
But we really became friends at Big Pine.
We did for sure, 100%. Yeah.
Where was it? Was it House of Comedy I met you?
I think it was House of Comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did a one-nighter, I think.
But I thought I knew you before that too, though.
I mean, Kate, how we got you on the festivals is we talked to Casey at Stand Up Live, and he said he was going to try to get us some headliners, and your name came up, and we just
God
said,
love Casey.
Yeah.
Casey Courier, shout out. Tempe
Casey
Improv,
Courier.
Stand Up Live. This other one, CB Live, that we shall not name.
House of Comedy.
But yeah, so and then we did the Big Pine Comedy Festival, which you helped run. Correct.
Well, yeah, I was. We took it over after the first 2 years. It was given to us by Ryan Stalder.
Yep.
To me and Yeller, and yeah.
Which I did the first one. I did the very first one Ryan did.
You did?
Yeah.
That's right. You were there.
Yeah.
That's probably where I first met you, but
Okay.
I was 8 months into comedy, so.
That's crazy. That's what I wanted. So this is what's crazy. So then we hung out at Big Pine, became buddies and everything, and then we clicked immediately, and I was like, well, I got some dates. You want to go? And you were like, yes, and I'm like, let's do it.
I think we really clicked even more so.
Grinder?
No, I was. For sure. And I was like, I like this man. No, I think it was when we went to Big Skies where we really bonded there.
Well, I mean, I thought we bonded in Big Pine, but that's cool. If you didn't feel it,
I'm more excited to see Hillary than you.
I mean, that's cool. No, I mean, it's whatever, Jack. It's cool.
It's hard for me to bond with anyone at Big Pine because I'm moving constantly
Yeah.
5 days. So it was the only time where I got to actually relax, be behind the scenes with you, and really get to talk to you.
All right, well, enough about you. All right, so Brian.
Tell me about when we bonded.
Yeah. No, so Jack, anyway, we're doing this run through Massachusetts for 3 weeks, and then in April, we're going up to Canada.
Yeah.
Hopefully try and maybe add something in the Pacific Northwest before that. But yeah, we're going to be doing a run through there, which we were talking about, like, now have you gone out, done like weekends out on the road?
Yes.
Okay.
I've done, like months on the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, so it's like being out on the road with somebody, whether you're the headliner or the feature or wherever you are in the hierarchy, when you're with somebody on the road, it's like, number one, they got to be funny, but almost as important is, are they a good hang?
The hang.
Yes.
It's more important that they're a fun hang.
Dude, yeah. Like we were talking about some of the people that we had gone out on the road with. I went out with one guy that it was too much really? On the road, and then we were talking about people that are like, they're heavy partiers, whether they do drugs and this and that, and I'm not,
No.
And then and then there's guys that I go on the road, like my buddy Amir, who's great, Kane, who's the co-host of this podcast and stuff. That when we go out, he was telling me some crazy. What's the craziest story you have from being on the road with someone?
I went on the road. I do Florida a bunch.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I went down and we were partying because the dude I was with is a straight up drug addict. I won't mention his name, but he knows who he is. And we were leaving a thing, and he was with two girls because he's the slut whisperer, dude.
Nice. Good for him.
Yeah.
And you're married.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm not doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, you go with them. I'll call my wife on the way. I'm that guy. I'm not.
I'm the same way. I'm like, you go. I'll call Brian's wife.
So we're leaving, and I stop at a stoplight, and someone just bombs through the stoplight, T-bones this other car. Like there was carnage everywhere. So my buddy pulls up with these like two chicks, and they pull over, and the cops come. I call the cops. I'm like, we got an accident on 441 and northbound. Like I broke into cop lingo for some reason. And then I had to save these people. And the one girl was like, my mother's a lawyer, so she'll be in touch. I'm like, bitch, you ran a red light. I don't care who you send to me.
Yeah.
So I give a statement, and she's trying to whisper in my ear as I'm giving the statement to the cop. So my buddy, he's like, bitch, go stand over there. Like, nobody wants to hear from you right now. You just killed this lady. And
somebody died?
I'm pretty sure she died. There's no way she got perfect T-bone, 90-degree angle into her passenger door. And her husband gets out, or boyfriend or whatever, and he's trying to, get her out of the car. And I'm like, leave her there. And he's like, no, I have to help her. I'm like, your fucking neck is broken, dude. She's got to be. And it was bad.
Jesus.
Wow.
No, we go everywhere on this thing. Yeah. Now, when I met Brian, how long ago? Because I remember it was at Dana's thing, right?
Dude, it was so early on. I talk about this all the time, even when you're not here. So this class that Dana teaches.
Buddy of ours, Dana J. Bine. Shout out to him.
He's one of my favorite people. He's a human pep rally, that guy.
He is.
But you and Plouffe came in, and I was like, it was week 4 of this class where I was like everyone was taking the class, I think, to give better pitches at work and shit.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I'm going to be George Carlin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was obsessed. And then you and Plouffe came in, and I hadn't even done an open mic yet, and you guys just talked about, bitter fucking comics and how not to be that, and just kind of we're like, no, you can, it's not, I remember one thing, you're like, it's not about other comics. Other comics aren't buying tickets to your show.
Yeah.
Just be funny and, be fun to be around, and it'll work out. And anytime I've, run into trouble, I'm just like, well, I'm not being fun to be around. I'm being a cunt. Oh, sorry, I don't know if this is...
No, you can say whatever the fuck you want. You can say cunt.
Right. And then just, I, carry that with me. After that first day, you guys, inspired me. So after that, I was like, I'm just going to do what they talked about. And
I'm pretty bitter now. No, I'm just...
this is 8 years ago.
That's so crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, I remember you in the class. I think we were on the second floor of a building.
I don't even... It's kind of that building. I think we're on the first floor.
Okay, well, maybe I don't remember. It could have just gone with me for the story.
Second floor.
No, but it's... I love Dana. It's funny because a lot of people will shit on, don't do stand-up classes and this and that. My buddy Alonzo Bowden did stand-up class,
right.
And I'm like, whatever you do, if you don't need one or you don't do one and you do great, awesome. If you do one and it helps you, awesome,
I feel like whatever gives you, the boot towards your dream.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what it is.
I did a class. I needed it. I had to.
So I took the first class with Dana, and I got so much out of it. And then I took a second round of classes, and he didn't teach. It was somebody who does improv teaching stand-up, and that was a colossal waste of 8 years.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my god. I was what are we doing here? This is stupid. And they wanted us to do an open mic at the end of the class, and by week 4, I think the week after I met you, I was like, I'm just gonna go out and start doing that.
That's what I remember when I took Dana's class. For those that aren't in stand-up listening to this or watching this. So you do a stand-up class, and then you have a graduation show, and everybody does good because everybody invites their friends and family. So everybody's good, they did it. And I told Dana, I was like, I want to do a show or an open mic or whatever that I don't know anybody. I was like, if I eat shit, then I eat shit. If I want to earn my laughs.
Right. Yeah.
So he introduced me to Scotty Lombardo, and then dude, I don't know if you know this. So my first time I ever went up on the show, and it wasn't an open mic, it was a showcase at Kennedy's Midtown. On the show with me is Mike Kaplan, Shane Moss, Dan Crone, Tyler Bowe, and Brian Moot and Andrew Slater, and I got paid, which I got $20. Yeah, everybody got money, and I literally was like, I totally do not deserve this, so I just bought a pitcher of beer for everybody.
And it's all downhill since then.
Yeah, exactly. That was my highlight. Yeah. Well, one thing that's cool too is so Brian now we're doing this first weekend. We're at the Woo Ha Ha in Worcester, which has been open now how long?
Since the middle of January.
Yeah, so it's only been, what is that, 5 weeks roughly? 5 or 6?
5 or 6, yeah.
And Brian is the house MC there, which is crazy because I was a house MC for 3 years at Parlor Live in Bellevue, Washington.
Teach me.
Well, that's what. And did you ever do the house MC thing like consistently at House of Comedy?
Not at House of Comedy, but at the Comedy Spot.
Oh yeah.
So I could just show up and host if you wanted me to, and I did a lot. And that year and a half of doing that.
Oh yeah.
Night and day.
Yeah.
It really. I feel like it sharpens you.
Well, dude, we talked about it. I mean, we told you to your face, but afterwards we were talking about how dope you did, like how great you were.
So good.
Yeah, no, like so last night's show, packed, sold out, and Brian goes up cold, meaning nobody goes, hey guys, we're about to start the show, put your hands together, no music, no nothing. Just people are talking. Yeah, people are talking, lights go down. Brian walks out and then just fucking goes into just working them, and then just fucking crushing it.
I dry dicked them. I don't like a God mic thing. I just want to go out and be like, I am here. Like, it's time to party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just go out and I just start clapping. And people just go, oh shit, it's time to clap.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, put your hands together. Yeah. I just have been somebody that's like, I want to earn it.
Yeah.
I want to go out there and if they laugh, it's not going to be because some guy in the back of the room said, you've seen him on cable access. Now put your hands together. I hate that. It doesn't feel organic to me. I want it to be like, hey, you guys are in my living room. I just walked in now. Let's talk.
That's what, people have said, like, my stand-up or whatever, it's like you're just talking with a buddy at a bar, which I'm totally happy with that.
Right.
Yeah. But the best compliment I ever got was, which I never would have even thought of this as a compliment or something to say, but this guy, it was at Laughs Unlimited, and he comes up to me and he goes, if I did stand up, I'd want to do it like you do.
Yep.
And I was like, oh shit, that's a pretty dope compliment.
That's a huge compliment. Yeah.
No
one said that to me.
What's up?
No one's ever said that to me.
Hey man, if I did stand up, I'd want to do it like Brian. Yeah. Now is this this has been going on for 6 weeks. And there was a congressman. Did you know that? There's like a local congressman here last night. Shorter, light-skinned black dude.
Council.
Okay, sorry, I don't fucking know.
I mean,
I don't know all that shit.
Yeah.
But he was like, he goes, I'm whatever here. He had like 8 titles, and he goes, I want to take a picture with you. And I was like, you probably shouldn't. Yeah. you may not get reelected.
That's going to resurface at some point, and it's going to cost you a district.
Yeah. But he was saying that he's like, this is new here, and I just want it to succeed. And I was telling him, I was like, well, Brian's awesome. I was like, Tobin is the best. And John Tobin, who owns the clubs, however you want to say it.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
He owns Laughter in Massachusetts.
Seriously. He's got, 5 clubs?
He's patented, like, snickering or laughter of any kind in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Now, do you deal with Ryan Cott a lot?
Yeah, that's my dude.
I fucking love Ryan Cott, and I can't wait till he meets him. So Ryan Cott is like, what's his title, like manager or?
He's a part. I see. Everyone always asks me. That's the first thing in comedy. People are like, so what's the deal with the blah blah? I'm like, I don't know what their business
I don't know.
Are, but I know he's a part. He's not like he doesn't work for them. He's a partner in John Tobin Presents, and anyone that answers that many emails deserves a piece of the company.
Yeah.
I don't know what their deal is, but if you answer comics emails from all over the country, You should take a piece.
Yeah.
This is making me more nervous.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how I met Cott, and then I'm going to tell you what happened with Jack, which is you'll love.
Oh boy.
So I met Cott. This is back when. Did you know about Tommy's Comedy Lounge?
That was before my time, but
Okay.
I know of it now.
Okay, but you know where it was?
Yeah.
So,
Blue Man.
yeah. So for those listening, literally on a block, on one corner of the block is Nick's Comedy Stop, and there used to be on the other corner of the block, same block, 20, 30 yards was Tommy's Comedy Lounge, ran and owned by the same people.
Right.
And so I was at Tommy's Comedy Lounge one night, and Ryan Cott was there, and it was bigger at the time. And Cott looks like a longshoreman, when he's all bundled up. Yeah. And he's taking tickets and he's seating people. And because he was kind of a bigger guy, I was like, and me fucking totally green. This is probably my first year, and I was like, oh, so what do you like? Are you like head of security here? Ryan just goes, yeah, I'm fucking head of security. He goes, how many fucking security guards have fucking Dane Cook's number on speed dial, you fucking cocksucker. And so now whenever I see him, I always like, hey, what's up? How's security going? And so,
Oh yeah.
So he, when I was telling Cott, I was like, hey, I'm gonna bring a feature, Jack, and he was like, okay, cool, have him email me a headshot. I was like, sure, no problem. So I tell Jack, I was like, hey, email Cott this headshot. And then, maybe a week later?
No, it was 4 days later.
4 days later, Cott messages me pictures of him on, his Instagram. He goes, hey, is this the fucking guy? He's like, the guy never emailed me his headshot. And so
it was worse than that. He goes, remember how I told you to have this guy send me my a headshot?
Yeah.
He didn't, so now I'm looking for one. And I was like...
Which is just what he wants to be doing when he has 17 clubs he's dealing with.
Jack. So I was like, I told Jack, I was like, I cannot wait because Ryan's going to flip him so much shit.
I gotta defend myself.
Okay, yeah.
I was driving to Vegas.
For 4 days?
No, for that morning you text me to get to Vegas an hour before the World Series of Comedy.
We get it. You do the
I
World
did it.
Series.
I've done the World Series before. I've never advanced. I advanced. I was excited.
We get
I
it.
forgot about the text message. And Thursday he texts me, and I booked the House of Comedy. I get those emails. I became the person I didn't like.
Yeah, the dude that requires extra steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I just gotta face it. I guess I don't know what to do.
That's
He's
the
the
thing
best.
about Ryan is if you're in with his people that he likes,
Yeah.
then you're just gonna get the amount of ball busting that him
That's
or
what he
I
told.
would get.
That's what he said.
Yeah, yeah.
John,
It's not like he's gonna be like, this fucking guy's not coming back.
John Tobin's a friend of mine. He comes to the festival, my festival. So it should be all right. But hey, I don't want to. I don't want to be that guy. Yeah, but
That will be his story for you now forever.
Yeah.
Like when this fucking guy think he's better than enough to can't
this
send
is
a
my
fucking
first
email.
time
Yeah.
Right.
going on the road,
Right.
and I fucked up,
Yeah, but it's
And the thing with Jack is Jack's so nice that things that that I guess us would be like, oh fuck, my bad. He's like, dude, I am so sorry. I'm like, he takes it so. Do I need to suck the guy's dick? What do I need to do to make this?
because I know how pissed I get
Yeah.
when someone makes me have to do extra shit because it's a stressful job.
right.
Working at a comedy club is stressful.
Yeah.
You're either making someone's day or you're ruining someone, and it sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He probably the good thing about dealing with this much shit that dude deals with is that was probably the easiest thing he had to deal with that day. You know what I mean? So he's like,
Sure.
and he gets it, dude. That's
No, I'm looking forward to it.
my favorite dealing with Ryan.
Yeah.
So from day one, not to shit on you, but from day one, I was like, if I'm just the easiest person they deal with,
Oh yeah.
then maybe I'll be the first person they text if they need something or whatever.
Always be easy to work with.
My
yeah.
next thing was right out the gate. Instead of being like, hey, could I get a little spot or whatever? I'm like, can I do a Thursday? Bring all my friends out, and he's like, oh, you mean put money in my
Yeah.
pocket? Not just him, but anybody specifically. I did that very early on. But so I had got a reputation for delivering. If I would show up no matter what. I had the flu last year so bad, and the Friday I was headlining next, I texted Ryan and I go, dude, I'm down for the count. I'm fucking so sick. I can't come in. And he goes, I know you. I know that if you're texting me this, that it's got to be awful. And I was like, oh, thank you. but I didn't realize the 3 dots. Are coming. But you sold a lot of tickets. Is there any way like say no more? I sold tickets. Yeah, I'll be there. And I dragged my dead ass.
Damn.
And it was a good. I phoned the Friday show in.
Damn.
By Saturday, I was all right. But I was like, why did I even say anything? I knew he wasn't going to just be like, oh, yeah, man, go take a nap.
Yeah, just feel better.
You sold a lot of tickets. Probably.
I remember last time I did Nick's, like, I think it was sold out and stuff, and as like people are coming in, I was like, hey man, it's sold up. And he fucking typical Con, he goes, fucking relax. What are you, the fucking king of Groupon? Everybody's got a fucking Groupon.
And see, that was the other thing about that day, that Thursday. I was really upset, not only because of what I did for Jay, did to Jay, is that I made it to the second round of the World Series, and I could not go back to Vegas because it snowed. The only time it snowed ever in Arizona, other than Flagstaff,
right.
The roads were closed to Vegas. So, I also
crazy.
had to call Joe Lors and tell him I couldn't make it to the second round. So.
I'll call that motherfucker right now. I'll call Joe.
Fucking.
And he was cool. He was very cool. He understood. I couldn't get there. I tried to find a plane ticket. Couldn't find a plane ticket either. So it was one of those things. But it's still, as a professional, you don't want to do that shit.
You want to build your thing on being reliable.
Yeah.
And easy to work with, and a good hang. Yeah.
That day, I sucked.
Hey, you had one bad day. It'll only affect your bookings in the greater New England.
I mean, it was just with the guy that runs 5 clubs, but it's cool. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Now, we were talking last night at the show, or I was starting to ask you this, and I was like, hold on, let's talk about it on the podcast. 2 things. I was asking you, so when you got I guess officially got the House MC gig, I was asking you, did comics hate on you for it, and or clubs or other bookers?
So I think that I have good people around me that like shield me from a lot of shit. Like when it got postponed a couple times because of construction.
Yeah.
I started to be like, what the fuck? I missed out on 36 gigs because of all the things that were scheduled here.
Right.
It wasn't their fault. The place wasn't built yet.
Yeah.
And I'm a business person from other shit, so I get it. And I was just like, so I was scrambling to fill a lot of dates. But I had a comic friend she goes, don't say anything to anybody. And I was like, why? She goes, do you know how many comics are pissed that you're doing that? They'll be the first one to go, Brian was bitching that you guys didn't have a fucking place built. She goes, don't say anything. So I just, hey, no, I get it, whatever.
Yeah.
But I did start to, I feel like other bookers are like, well, why are you sending me bills? Thought you're in Worcester. Thought you didn't need us anymore. I feel it. I don't know if it's real. They
haven't like responded with that, but you just get that vibe.
Yeah, and that might just be me imagining it, but I'm sure there's an element of it.
Well, so
there's always an element of it.
Yeah, when I got the Parlor live gig, so for those that don't know, Parlor is in Bellevue, Washington. So as you're going up and heading north in Washington, you take I-5, and eventually I-5 part of it splits off to 405. It like forms a Y. Like I-5 goes left, and then 405 goes right, or east, and northeast. So Parlor Live is in Bellevue. The Seattle Comedy Underground is in downtown Seattle, which is like 20 to 30 minutes. And then there was another club called Laughs, which was in Kirkland, which was 10 to 15 minutes from Parlor on the east side. And when Parlor Live opened up, Laughs felt like, it was a shot across their bow, and Parlor Live was the A room in the Northwest for the longest time. So when I got that gig from Laughs, I never really did Laughs anyways, which was fine, but I got banned from there because I was working with a club that they felt was like attacking, and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. Never had any problems with Comedy Underground in Seattle, and then Tacoma. I wonder, and I'm sure they don't give a fuck as far as Cotton Tobin, but like one of the things when Parlor was asking me about taking the hosting gig, there was a couple things I told him, because the host before me was a buddy, Justin Ruppel, who would always wear a suit, like a blazer, and like he usually works clean, does impressions, great guy, nice dude, and we're totally different comics, right? And so the 2 things I said to him when I took the gig, I was like, well, first, I'm not wearing a fucking blazer.
Right.
I was like, I'm telling you right now, you know, I mean, like New Year's show, sure, I'll dress up, shit like that, but you're not going to see me week in, week out with a blazer. It's not me.
The entertainer.
Yeah. And they were like,
we didn't do this to wear a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not wear suits.
And so they were like, okay, that's fine. And I said, the other thing is, I was like, I'm going to do other shows. I was like, I'm not going to be where I'm only doing the parlor and I'm turning down to other gigs. I was like, I'm yours on the weekend.
Right.
But, if I have an opportunity for a show on Tuesday at the Comedy Underground or Sunday at wherever, and they were like, no, they were like, that we don't have any problem with that. I was like, cool. So I take it that, but then again, most of the clubs are going to be their clubs.
Well, Ryan was like, give me some notice and you can do whatever you want. But this is brand new, and I wanted to. I wanted to shape it in my own how I wanted it to go down. I want guys and girls to come in and go, damn, this is welcoming. And I wanted to like do such a good job early that it stuck. So if I came back here in 2 years, I'm like, I set this thing in this direction, which I have a lot of pride in that, and I feel like I'm starting to do that. I feel like the run is going to end before I really leave like a stamp here.
Why do you say that? Because you're going to move on to something?
Yeah, I mean, I like in April, ends at the end of March, so I only have a couple weeks left. And
wait, what ends at the end of March?
My run here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, did I make enough of an impact here that, like, when I leave, it'll just go down the toilet? As far not so much the club, but just. Well,
what happens in April?
I'm just going to like we had just said. Oh, do the first 3 months.
Oh, but they may re-up you, right?
They said. I mean, we talked about it, but I just booked things depending on it being over. So by the time I finish those again, it'll be summer, and I go back home for like a month and a half and shut it down. So I might do it again. I don't know. Basically, Ryan's like, if you want to stay, stay.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you in any capacity, which I'll just talk to him and work it out.
Yeah.
But like, I love it out here, but I don't know what the impact is as far as the other shit, like you're saying. Like, I don't know if it impacts me at clubs or other places, or if I would have a bunch of empty weekends if I wasn't doing this. I've never been somebody that had empty weekends because I'll take whatever.
Yeah.
But this has been good for me to like work on shit.
Yeah, and it's also that thing where it's like even though it's only been 6 weeks or whatever, I'm sure you probably already feel like at the parlor. I felt like. And I'm sure you feel like this with House of Comedy. I was like, this is my home. Like, I can do whatever I want. And it's so freeing.
It's just starting to feel like that.
Dude.
And I was away for a couple weeks, so this last night was my first show back after vacation. And I was like, I'm home.
Yeah.
And I feel like that. I just want to keep that going, but I don't want to lose traction on all the other shit that I have. I work hard at all the clubs to make it.
Yeah.
To build some momentum, But that being said, it's 20 minutes from my house. It's
great.
And it's such a cool spot.
Yeah, and that place, like, low ceilings. Like, one thing I thought that you said that was interesting, and it just goes to show you how much Tobin gets comedy, is like they were ready like to open, I guess, and Tobin's like, oh, it's cool. You need to lower the ceiling like 18 inches.
Yeah, and the guy was like, yeah, and he was like, no, I'll lower the fucking
In those kind of ceilings, that's hard to do. That's not an easy thing.
Because he was so involved in the process. John Tobin's been dealing with comedy since like forever.
Yeah.
He gets what makes a room work, what makes it not work, and I mean Ryan too. They were involved. They built the room for comedy. We went there like on Hard Hat Day, and it was a construction site. It looked like the fucking doozers from Trial.
Great reference.
Yeah. So once that, we were like, this is going to be a comedy club? Didn't feel like that. And then they just kept working it. We do need some shit on the walls, though. We need some.
Yeah. Get some, either that or like deceased comics, or something like.
I started collecting records of old dead comics, but.
I think I saw a post of yours of that, a signed one or something. Yes, that's what I did see that.
I love Rickles.
Yeah, the Rickles is one of my favorites. Yeah.
There's one sign in there. Somebody hung up. It just says no table dancing. There's one sign in the entire club. We don't know who hung it, and I never got permission to take it down.
Right.
So it's just there. So any posters we have nothing. It just says.
I mean, the feel to me was great. So I mean, if you add anything else, it'll just be extra. I don't even think it needs it, but if you do, it'll.
It was so that was
even
like
better, I guess. But it was great last night.
That was fucking. yeah, I was like, man. And then when I was talking to Cott today, I was like, is there a show you need me to try and push people towards or anything? He's like, first one's sold out tonight, so the second one's limited. So so I was like, fucking great.
People will show up and be like, can I get in the first one? And they'll be like, the guys at the door have been so good about being like, no, but go grab the pizza and we'll see you in an hour and a half.
Dude,
it's perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah, oh man, and it's a great room, and the audience last night we had to the left was those fucking, what'd you call them, a gaggle of
Bras.
I mean, Jesus, they were so fucking chatty, but
but they don't know.
Yeah.
Most people don't know how to behave themselves, and that's gonna be good to have. I mean, they were like participating.
Yeah.
But they weren't really like.
It wasn't bad.
Wasn't too bad, no.
At the dirty show or the rowdy show.
Yeah.
I'm like, you stayed.
Yeah, and like I probably did more dirty shit. Yeah, by the way, so and that was your first rowdy show, right? Mm-hmm. So after the show last night, we just did one show, and then Brian had his first rowdy show, which I was like, oh, is this a dirty show? So I was like, can I do like 5? And so after having a fun set, the first show,
Killer set.
They were not. I was like, yeah, I was not standing ovation. I even said, I was like, yeah, so glad I did this set. Yeah, exactly. Oh, fuck. But that's the beauty of comedy. Isn't that just how it is?
It is the beauty.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If somebody goes, hey, want to do 5? You're like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you get off of Madison Square Garden. You're like, is there a mic?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's this like seats like 4, and maybe one person will be there. Dude, sweet. Can I get time on it? You just did Madison Square Garden. No, but you said I could do time.
Except for me, I didn't do 5.
Well, I was just gonna say, and what's interesting, I was saying to Jack, I was like, do you want to do time? And Jack's like, and I had told him it was a dirty show, and Jack's like, I don't really have like dirty stuff.
Well, and the only reason I was against going up there because I didn't have dirty stuff is because I know Chad and Corey. They came to my festival and did the dirty show, and they said, we need people that are going to be dirty. If they don't go up there and be dirty, it's going to ruin the show for the rest of the show. And I was like, well, I don't want to go up there and not do dirty stuff, you know?
The best set of the night was Emily Ruskowski, who didn't do a single...
And she went up right after me.
It's so funny because she works in some kind of healthcare.
Yeah.
Like, it's the rowdy show. She started talking about work. She's like, let's violate some HIPAA agreements.
That's funny because about the dirty thing, because a lot of clean comics will say, oh, it's harder to work clean and stuff. My buddy, do you know Greg Wilson?
I feel like I know the name.
Greg Romero Wilson, or the Greg Wilson?
So good.
No.
Oh, he's awesome, and
I don't want to know.
yeah, and I love Greg, and he's he crushes high energy fucking psycho. But he does a dirty show at the Ha Ha in North Hollywood. And a buddy of ours, a buddy of Greg's, and a buddy of mine, but a buddy of Greg's, he was doing the dirty show. And I was like, he has dirty stuff? He's like, he said he does. And so I was like, all right. And he went up and did all this political shit, and the show just fucking... And Greg was so fucking pissed. He was like, you told me I had dirty stuff.
My buddy Danny Kelly used to do you know Danny?
I think so.
He had what was called a nasty show. And it was at midnight at Boston. So people are... fucking hammered. And this one comic we're like, you're gonna do a spot? He's like, yeah. I was like, do you have anything dirty? He's like, of course. He goes, I was like, oh, is that Dunkin' Donuts? And they come out, and we're like,
Tiddlywinks.
okay, that's not really the vibe of the show.
Oh, fuck.
The comedy show is just supposed to be like, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, interact with the crowd or whatever. And it just sort of is another show.
Yeah.
Because I was like, we'll draw names out of a hat and we'll like make it, and everyone was like, just set the lineup, dude.
Is that what they said last night? And that's what's great though, is like you're learning. But dude, what I thought was great is it was your first one, and that was sold out too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
That's
packed.
fucking.
That's great.
Dude, okay, come on, man, that's my shit.
So if you sell it, you sold it.
That's fucking
cheap ass tickets for the woo.
Yeah, dude. That's another testament to you, though. I mean, that you sold that out first fucking night of doing that.
Those are whoever's behind the scenes marketing and all that other shit.
You might.
For my show,
Yeah.
It's all me.
You're like, yeah, I'm not calling those guys.
Marketing, you know.
Oh man, that's do these usually sell out though?
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's nothing
Like
special.
Thursdays are beat, unless we put on something cool. Like there's a bunch of colleges out here, so we're doing a college showcase thing. Like in April, where we're getting the best from a few different colleges. So we're filming Thursday nights of the people who aren't doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
With there's a recovery show coming up, and just trying to get something going on Thursday night. That's our only night that's we're like, ugh, people don't show up. But Fridays have been solid, and Saturday's been really good. I don't know who sold out both shows on a Saturday yet. You might be the first one.
Oh fuck, dude! Come on, baby! Come on, baby! You should do or do you have a what's it called? Industry night?
No.
Could do that on Thursday. You know what those are?
Yeah, we're all bars.
Yeah.
Well,
And the people in the area, you know.
everybody's working on Thursdays at other bars. Industry
Oh.
nights be like Sunday or Monday.
Oh yeah.
Which
Stupid, Jay. Stupid.
that would be fun though.
Yeah.
Because people like bartenders.
Or military. Could have military night. Yeah. All right. I mean, just ideas. Fuck those guys. That's going to be the clip. That's all I'm going to have is you going military. ISIS. Split your bill for Splinter Cell night. What's the at the Woo? What's the worst heckle you've had, or has there been any, or have you had to kick anybody out yet? I know it's young. That's good.
No. But the thing is, if anybody's police in the room, it's got to be me.
Yeah.
Which is another element that I'm fine to deal with.
Yeah.
But because I look like a bouncer anyways, they'd be more likely to see me and go, oh, that's the bouncer than that's the host. It's
Yeah.
be fun. So I'll go over and be like, hey, come on, shh, and that's it. That's the most I've had to do.
That's
good.
I was away for a week, and I don't know. It could have been anarchy. I have no idea. But,
Who subs for you? Do you have like a guy that you go to to sub?
just grab one.
They pick somebody. All right.
Whoever sends a headshot all the time.
Not me. Not me. I didn't get the call.
It's Worcester, but it's not one of those places where if people get overserved at 7 o'clock at night on a Saturday, go get some help.
Yeah.
Get some hug or something.
Dude, after the show, we were hanging out with some of the people at the show, and the one dude, I posted a video, but the guy was talking about, he goes, I would totally fuck all my friends' wives.
Except for one.
Yeah,
So he said,
except for one. And everybody's like, well, we know the one.
And I was like, bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, no, they all knew. They all were like,
I
dude.
know. Yeah.
I want to be the guy who's like with the wife that nobody wants to have somebody to do. I really want to fuck your wife.
What was the Patrice bit where he's like, I don't want my wife to be able to walk down an alley at 2 a.m. in the morning and feel safe?
Well, if you have the wife that nobody wants to fuck, it probably has nothing to do with their looks. It has everything to do with their attitude, which means you're probably not friends with that guy anymore.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Which sucks. But it fucking happens.
Dude, if somebody wants to take on what I've taken on, they can feel
Now, when you started comedy, were you with your wife?
I was first. So, dude,
Oh,
that class
boy.
that I took
Yeah.
was a gift from the girl that I was dating at the time, and then eventually married and then divorced immediately after. Well, she was fucking somebody.
That's a good reason.
Look at that Italian guy from
One and lost at the same time. No, but I was with her, and then we broke up. But she bought me that class.
Wow.
As a Christmas.
So it was something you had been talking to her about for a while?
It's what I want to do my entire life. I was like, oh, maybe I'll start open mic. I'm from Nantucket. There was no outlet for that.
And how old were you when you started?
28.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to go, which I feel like I should have started earlier, but I don't know.
Everybody does.
I don't know if
Everybody
I had
does.
to say yet. I didn't know that's blues. I couldn't play the blues until we broke up.
I used to say that a lot because I started at 32. And someone told me one day, they go, no, you didn't. You started when you were supposed to start. You weren't ready to start then, evidently. Yeah. So just be happy with the fact that you did start. Yeah. And now it's time.
And your story is kind of similar to his with your starting, right?
What?
How did
My
you start?
Story?
Your story with starting stand-up.
It's a lot different.
Go ahead, tell
Okay. No, I started stand-up when I was 32. My about 8 months after my dad passed away from committing suicide.
Oh, shit.
And, bring it down again. Here we go.
It's just like yours.
My dad and I always talked about it. I wanted to be a singer first, country singer, so I've always had the desire to be on stage and do something.
I walked in here, you were singing, I go, that guy can sing.
Yeah, no, I can sing a little bit, but couldn't play the guitar. Tried many times, and just my dad always just say, he goes, "You're funnier than you are a good singer," which hurt.
But yeah,
but we always talked about doing that. He wanted to be an actor. He wanted to do comedy, and he never did it. And I think a lot of those things drove him to, depression later in life because he just never did anything he wanted to do. And I just told him when I got divorced about 2 years before that. I said, I'm going to start doing things I want to do. And one of those things is I tried out for The Voice, just stupid things. Nothing that I thought I was going to do, but things that were going to push me to maybe take some risks in life.
No chairs turned around?
I didn't get to that point. I got to a room. I got to a room in L.A. Where there was 10 of us and a person at a computer. And she said, you have 22 seconds to sing when it's your turn. I heard maybe 9 of the best voices I've ever heard in my whole life. Right. And no one got asked to come back. Just were told to leave.
I want you to finish the story, but have either of you ever done the AGT auditions?
Oh, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you do the sit in line, or did you have Okay, you had the pass.
Yeah.
Same here. And have you done them?
I've never done it. No.
Okay, what was yours, real quick?
They go. Well, I'll sum it up for you. They go. So what have you been through? What are your hardships? I go. I'm from Nantucket. Like my biggest hardship is I had to share a jet ski with my brother. Like,
tell everybody about wings.
Dude, it's so funny because I wanted to write a joke about it where reality TV is totally like that. Like you could be the fucking greatest singer or whatever, and they're like, yeah, that's cool, but were you ever molested maybe? Or, do you have, they want that.
I thought about my story and trying to do that and tell it because I have a weird story. I mean, I watched my ex-wife's daughter, who's not mine, I watch her 3 days a week when I'm in town. Like I do a lot of weird shit that people just don't do. You know what I mean? And I've thought about, because one of the ladies that books that or finds talent, she's coming to our festival. We met her at Big Sky, and I just don't think I'm ready.
Yeah, for that. And talk about the
No, I just don't think I'm ready as a comic to get to that point where, because if you do well on there, you need to be able to headline afterwards, and I don't know if I'm ready.
Preacher Lawson.
Yeah.
He's a good buddy of mine. That motherfucker sells every ticket.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's setting records for attendance all over the place and everything. Him and I were doing like open.
He's doing the Wilbur, or he did the Wilbur. Just the other night,
Shit out of it.
And I think that's a big part of comedy is understanding when you're ready and when you're not ready for something big, because I don't want to take that opportunity and fuck it up.
Yeah.
If I were to get that opportunity. So I told the person I work with, my friend Hillary, because she told me we should do that. And I said, well, let's wait maybe like another year or two. And
that's really smart, though, that you recognize that.
Yeah, I think people need to recognize those things.
But, dude, how many people do you know, though? I mean, like in anything with stand-up where you'll see them eat their balls and then immediately they're tweeting out, crushed, destroyed. Like, people don't recognize, they're their worst critic,
No, for sure, 100%.
So, I mean, it's actually, I think that's good that you recognize, like, oh, maybe I should wait.
I don't like it.
But
I think you should just go for it. I think that because, and here's why, and what do I know? I'm sitting in Worcester with you fucking guys.
You fucking guys.
I just feel like you wait till you're ready, you're never going to be ready. And, like, did you see the Gary Goldman thing? He posted.
Oh, he has it every day?
Yeah, but he was talking about 8 Mile, how the whole movie is based on you only get one shot, and fucking second shot 2 weeks later. It's like, you get more shots. I mean, maybe not with something as big as that, but it's like, I'm one of those people, I just want to swing hard in case you hit it.
I think I do swing hard at some things. I mean, but this is my next swing hard. This is me going on the road with someone, trying to see if I'm funny at other places. I mean, I've done comedy outside of Arizona, but never to this capacity.
I've been trying to bury these middles up to their neck every week, and you just went up last night, and it was like, just seamless. I'm like, this fucking guy. I was trying to ruin
you did ruin it. You killed it. And I was nervous sitting there. I was like, fuck, how am I going to,
I've been burying these bitches. No, I'm kidding. I set out to be like, all right, this middle, it has their work cut
Yeah.
out for them tonight.
Dude, I think that's definitely like, you know, I was going to say Boston, but I guess you could say New England comics in general. That's definitely a New England thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like from way back, like, who was it? Fucking Bob Marley was telling me a dope story about, I think it was Bill Maher was at, it might have been Nick's or the old Comedy Connection, but he was like being a cunt, and like the fucking the guy, the booker of this club at the time was like, he's like, go up there and do your fucking time, or I'll get 6 other local guys that'll fucking bury you, you know, that'll give a way better show. Yep. But I mean, I think that's always been like a New England or Boston comic thing of like the hosts, like these out of towners. Fuck, these guys have no fucking idea what we're about to do to them.
Right,
and I think that's fine. That's, you know.
However, it ruins the entire thing for everybody here because people come to Boston now and they go, I'm just going to bring somebody. I'm like, hot dog middle who thinks he's fucking Bert Kreischer to you know, they're just like, I'll bring my friends.
I want somebody to fucking do good in front of me. You know, like I you know, it's you know, when I was brought up, like one of the headliners that was one of my mentors, he was like, yeah, there's headliners that want a week feature because it makes them look better or whatever. Or there's headliners that want a middle that crushes and either
pushes them.
Yeah, makes them work, and also he's like, just ride the wave.
Right.
You know, fucking dude, that's that show last night. We were talking about it, like from beginning to end. That show was awesome. Yeah. It just fucking everybody fucking did great. You know.
As far as getting your money's worth, I feel like last night's show was one that I'll remember for a little while, where you're like, start to finish, they had a good show. It was not a moment that they're like,
yeah,
why did we come here instead of going to karaoke?
100%.
Dude, and I was talking to him. I was like, I told him before, because you had said that nobody had, you know, you were trying to figure out the best way to do merch there and everything. So I'm like, oh man, I brought a lot of merch, you know, for this trip, but it was fucking great.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
We moved that high table.
That helps.
Which I think is good. That people are like, oh, this is actually a real production. You know, like it's not like some dude in the corner. I feel like anytime you go, oh, just put your shit over there.
Yeah.
It's like it gives them a reason to walk past you.
And then turning the lights on was fucking, yeah. It was great.
You were sitting over there in the dark, and I was like, I gotta put some
I'm just looking, it's like, hey guys, man, I'm over here if you need it.
The best part, we were all talking about shit about you guys after. No, we were talking, and there were people that weren't even at the show. At the first show, that bought your merch and had it for the second show.
Really?
Yeah, when they came in,
shit.
they bought your merch. Like 3 or 4 people.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either. I had no
That's
idea.
hilarious.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god, these shirts are great. It's like, all your shirts are all over everybody's table.
Fucking Jesus.
I was like, wow.
It's a good shirt.
It's
a good shirt and great timing.
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day's coming up.
I know.
It's just perfect.
That tall blonde with the melons had your sticker on her tit.
Yeah.
I was like this. Oh, look at Brian's sticker. I'm just looking at. Dude,
she was a school teacher. She was a biology school teacher. That chick, by the way.
Yeah.
She gave a very nice compliment. She was very nice. She's like, this is my husband's 40th birthday present, and I was nervous because sometimes you go to these shows and they're not great.
Yeah.
She goes, and you all knocked it out of the park.
And she was friends with her husband, and her were friends with the guy that was like,
Italian
I would fuck every one of my friends' wives.
He made sure she heard that too. He was like in her ear.
There was one dude who came up to me afterwards and goes, hey, you got to tell your friends, Worcester is not Boston.
Some lady, was it a lady or a guy?
A guy.
A lady told me that too, and I was like, I told you the story was in Boston. I wasn't saying that this is Boston.
They get prideful.
I know.
People in Worcester are proud of Worcester.
Yeah.
Like in the second show, somebody was like, this place sucks. Worcester sucks. And then somebody was like, then leave.
I didn't even want to attempt to say the name when I got on stage, so I just went into my shit.
Yeah, what did you call it when we were Worcester?
I was like, oh, this is War. He goes, shut the fuck up. Someone's going to punch you right now or stab you. I was like, shit.
Dorchester is
the fucking Dorchester. Yeah.
Why isn't it Dorster?
Yeah.
No sense.
And why is Quincy not Quincy?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even
Quincy Adams is not Quincy Adams.
Oh, yeah.
You just now recognize it.
Oh, my God. Why are they called apartments?
In Arizona, we just say things like they are.
What do you park in a driveway and drive in a parkway?
Oh, Jesus.
All right, we got to do our. So on this podcast, it's called HollingsWorthless. So we do a worthless of the week or a worthy or worth it of the week, which can be like anything. So my worthless of the week is fucking Delta Airlines and their goddamn seating on their planes. I sent a picture and I bitched to them on their Twitter. Dude, I get that you want to make money and everything, but I'm fucking 6'8". It's not like it's not a scam. I don't have stilts on. Just give me a fucking Comfort Plus seat or something. I mean, it's also I'm making the people next to me uncomfortable because on one of the planes I was at, the chair in front of me literally, I had 2 different flights with Delta. One, there was nobody sitting next to me. So thank God I could spread wide, because if I was expected to try and keep I wouldn't have been able to do it. The other seat in front of me would have come about mid-thigh. So I had to spread. And then the second flight, I was in the middle between these 2 people. God love them. They were both very nice. So they get my worth it or worthy of the week. But fucking putting me in any seat other than like an exit row or, I'm like, fuck, dude. So Delta Airlines is my worthless. I love Southwest. Southwest Airlines is the best for me because they give you a second seat free.
Do they really?
Yeah. I got to quit putting this out there.
They reward gluttony?
Well, dude, here's what's great. Pretty much. The other thing, too, there's 2 reasons why I love Southwest. 2 bags you can check in free.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Always. So that's merch.
Right.
And then the other is they don't ask you. You go up to Southwest and you go, hey, I need a second seat. No problem. Here's the thing. Put it down on the other seat. It says reserved. Yeah. And you get to pre-board, too, with that. Yeah, I shouldn't put that out there, but, that's my trick. But that's my...
trick.
Yeah, I mean, you could say you had knee surgery and I need a second seat, and they'll fucking...
Dude, I had a boot, and because I snapped my ankle, and I had to go on the road the next day to Fort Myers, and I flew.
And being, again, because we can't say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I have the boot belt to let me right through. Nope. Each time I went through, they had to take the boot off, scan and everything. The thing's going, like my ankle's bumping.
Oh.
I was like, can I please have the fucking boot back? But does that count as...
Was that TSA?
Yeah.
Doing that? Yeah, that could be your worthless.
I had a better worthless than that. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. You can have multiple worthless.
Oh, I got a good worthless.
Okay, what's your worthless of the week?
Whoever the motherfucker is that invented the Momo challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear me talking?
Yeah, and I seen it. I had to look it up because I'd seen people talking about it, and who was it, Jada Pinkett Smith or somebody? Or
yeah. It's a virus or a thing that they put in, they sneak it into like Fortnite while kids are playing, or onto their iPads if they're watching like, Miranda sings and shit on YouTube, and this scary bitch pops up like the girl that comes out of the wall.
Right.
And it's like, if you kill yourself or we'll kill your parents.
Yeah.
It says this to kids. So I have an 11-year-old stepdaughter, and I was making, I had the thing on my computer, and I was putting sunglasses on her and making it funny because I'm a sick fuck.
Yeah.
And she just happened to walk by it, and the blood-curdling scream that came out of that kid, she gets gonna find us now.
Holy fuck.
I'm like, it ain't gonna find me.
Yeah.
I'll kill my parents. Right?
So the Momo challenge is your worthless.
That dude, whoever invented.
Yeah. Well, and what's the fucking point, dude?
Just scare kids. Go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Top that.
My worthless of the week is myself with my jewel.
Well, why you can't put it down?
I can't put it down. We did a podcast for an hour, and I'm like, can I hit my jewel? Yes, because I had to. So this is the reason I got a middle seat on my plane, because I was told to get to the airport early by my friend. She's like, get there early so you can pick your seat, and you get a good seat. I got there early, but I sat outside for 40 minutes, hitting my jewel because I was like, I'm gonna be on an airplane. I need to hit this as much as possible, like an addict.
Is it weed?
No, this is just nicotine.
I thought you were sucking information out of a thumb drive.
No, this is
like in the Matrix.
This is tobacco. Not tobacco. This is nicotine. And no, it's not data. Remember your joke.
Yeah. I can tell jokes.
So I got the last middle seat.
Oh.
And I am very claustrophobic.
And you're 6'5"?
6'4".
6'4".
And usually, at some point, if I do a long flight, I have to get up. Yeah. I have to walk to the bathroom. Not to go to the bathroom, just to take all my clothes off. So I can breathe and regroup.
And how do you get naked in one of those things?
Wait. Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
Wait. Hold the fuck on. You're on a flight. You get up.
If I'm on a long flight.
You get up.
I get up.
You go to the bathroom, which you should not be able to fit in very comfortably at all.
Hard. None of the clothes comes completely off. Pants just go down to my ankles, and I take my shirt off.
What?
Because part of claustrophobia is once you have breeze hits your body, you relax.
Okay, all right. So when you're saying you're
air.
claustrophobic, you're not saying it. You're not saying it as a joke. Like people are like, "Oh, I'm so claustrophobic." You like legit are claustrophobic.
100%.
Okay, all right.
Getting naked reduces anxiety for people.
Because the cold air gets hit me, and I feel like I'm freer. So I breathe.
Interesting.
And then the air hits me, and since I'm in the middle, and it's a late flight, the lady next to me slept the whole time, and I'm such a nice person.
Yeah.
I didn't want to wake her up. And the guy next to me puts the armrest up as I sit down, and then never puts it down again. And I just don't like conflicts. And he fell asleep and kept touching me on accident. Like his leg would just bump into me, and then his hand would fall down on my leg. And I'm just like, and it was awful.
You should have just undressed there and then put the fan on you. Be like, yeah. Let's see how you like this, motherfuckers.
I get in the bathroom and everything's down, shirts off, pants are just at my ankles.
How fucking
USB things for your phone with the
fan?
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking. I mean,
only if it's over like a 3-hour flight. I can usually manage in a smaller flight.
It's not crazy in the sense of like you're crazy. It's just it's crazy in the sense that I don't know that. You know, like that's fucking wild, dude.
It's foreign to me. Have you ever tried Xanax?
No.
Oh, I took a Xanax, and my buddy goes, "You got to put it under your tongue," and I put it under my tongue, and then we got a delayed flight, and I was like, remember, I'm like. Pick up the phone.
I'm a very addictive person, so I just don't feel like pills. I've never wanted to take them. Yeah, and so I usually will eat an edible before I go, which I have to have one only if I'm in the aisle, so I can get up, because sometimes I'll get extra paranoid on it. Jesus. And I'm lucky I didn't, because I would have probably freaked out.
Labyrinth your brain is.
Dude.
I had as a kid, I had a wooden bunk bed. And I went underneath it to get something, and my friends know I'm claustrophobic, and they pushed me under it. And held me under there.
Oh, that must have been terrifying.
Broke my bed. I was
fucking hulked
out.
I
was like close to high school, and there was board, plywood, and bed, and I busted right through it. Because I literally freaked the fuck out.
You should fly Southwest and tell them you need a second seat. They don't ask you. They won't say, "Oh, why do you need it?" You just go, "Hey, I need a second seat," and then they go, "Okay."
This is what
That's that easy?
A Dramamine and 2 No-Dos. None of those things are addicting.
Yeah.
Or like Unisom or whatever. They will wake you up to get you off the flight. And you go...
Wait, Dramamine and No-Dos?
Dramamine because it's for any kind of motion sickness or anything like that.
No-Dos keeps you awake, right?
I mean, not No-Dos, Unisom.
Oh, that's like good.
Unisom. 2 Unisom and a Dramamine. And I flew from Vegas. I was dead. Moose tranquilizer.
I'm also afraid that I'm going to snore really loud, so that's why I don't sleep well.
I wake myself up snoring.
Oh, yeah. I do, too. If I fall asleep on my back, I'm like, who's that? What is that?
That's why I sleep on my stomach, because I sit on my back, I'm snoring so fucking.
All right, we got to wrap it up. So we're going to do our plugs. So this is going to come out Wednesday. We'll go with you first. What do you want to plug?
Shit, I want to plug my podcast, the Cantankerous Podcast, with Danny Kelly, and my website, bglowcomedy.com. All my shit's on there.
Nice. Any shows you want to plug?
I'm here until the foreseeable future. Woo-ah.com.
Boom.
I will be at Laugh Boston hosting next weekend, and we'll be at Nick's Comedy Stuff the weekend after that for St. Patty's Day. And then I'll be back in House of Comedy in Phoenix on the 6th of April. Then we go to Canada, and then submissions for the Big Pine Comedy Festival just officially opened today, or yesterday. So go to bigpinecomedyfestival.com and submit. And I think we're still taking some submissions for the San Diego Comedy Festival, so submit to that. And then go to the Real Jack Galvin.
Boom. And I'll just bigirishj.com. I'm going to be at the same shows, Nick's and or Laugh Boston next week, or this. Actually, this comes out Wednesday, so this weekend I'll be at Laugh Boston. Yeah. Following weekend, Nick's Comedy Stop. bigirishj.com. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys doing the podcast, and it's been awesome. Bye.